Hey guys, what's going on and welcome to a brand new video. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel because we are getting closer, now only about 50 subscribers away from the 1k mark. So please subscribe, like the video because it helps us get out to more people, and let's get into it. So we'll start off with Fark, what Fark had to say at his press conference with injury issues. So I'll start off Fark saying he confirms there is no chance that Perry will start. So Perry is definitely not starting, which means Darlow is going to start in goal. After 7 weeks without a match and no training sessions during the break with key teammates. So basically, Fark has basically just confirmed that Perry won't be starting this game and it will be Carl Darlow. The other news on injuries is Daniel Fark saying James ahead of schedule. So Dan James is ahead of schedule. Very good news. Already involved in major parts of team training. So he's involved in team training. Not contending for the starting 11, but possibly for the squad with Okafor managing an adductor injury. So Okafor might be out for this game, which means if that happens, the two wingers for this game will be Harrison and Aronson. It will be a Harrison Aronson starting on both wings if Okafor is out, if he's okay because he's got an abductor injury, which not good. Also in other news, the last news, Nonto's not going to be fit. So yeah, Nonto isn't going to be fit, so we don't have to have that whole crying about he should be starting ahead of Aronson, he should be, even though he shouldn't. But you got to earn your spot back, in my opinion. I think Aronson's been good enough to earn your spot, and as I said, you got to earn your spot back. And no matter how more talented and how better people think you are, you got to earn your spot back. And Nonto won't be available for this game anyway. So yeah, we're basically down to Aronson and Harrison as our only two wingers, if that is the case, with Dan James coming off the bench, if he manages to make the bench. So that's a bit of an issue that we don't have that depth off the bench. We don't have the Harrison off the bench. We don't have a Dan James. Well, we will have Dan James, but is he going to be fit enough to come off the bench? We're not going to have a Nonto off the bench. You know, we're not going to have an Okafor starting, you know, so we're down to the bare bones when it comes to wingers, which is an issue in my opinion. But yeah, so let's go through our games against Burnley. So the last 6 meetings we've actually had against Burnley. Burnley won 1. We won 3 and there's been 2 draws. Of course, last season we drew 0-0. Before then was a 1-0 loss, a 3-1 win, a 1-1 draw, a 4-1 win, and a 1-0 win. So we've had the upper hand on Burnley in the last 6 games, winning 3, as I said, and then only winning 1 with 2 draws in there. And yeah, going into this game, am I confident? I mean, you got to be confident when you're coming against the team in the relegation zone, in a relegation battle with the newly promoted team with you. You know, this could be a massive win because at the moment we're 4 points ahead of them. You know, they're in 18th, we're in 15th, 4 points ahead. A win would be massive to put us 7 points clear of Burnley. You know, starting to get that gap on the bottom 3. If we do lose, it's not over. Let's be real. I know people will cry if we lose and be annoyed, which I understand being annoyed, but it's not like if we do lose, it's not like, oh my God, it's over, we're getting relegated. But it's one of those things about winning is massive because we can build that gap on Burnley. We can build that gap and make that gap into 7 points, which, as I said, would be massive. So going into this game, how do I think we're going to line up? I think we're going to have Darlow in goal, of course, because Perry won't be available. You're then going to have Bogle. You're then going to have Strauch and Rodon. I think Strauch keeps his spot. The reason why I don't think Strauch comes out is I think he's been good this season. Like, I know people want to see BL, and I do understand that. But BL just coming back from international duty as well. Maybe that's on Fark's mind about he's just come back. He's come back late for international duty. Do I want to just shove him in there against Burnley like that? So I think he'll go with Strauch and Rodon. I think Goodmanson starts on the left. And then you're going to have your midfield 3 of, I think it's going to be Ampadu, Longstaff, and Stack. Again, with Stack, I thought Stack would actually come out, but again, it's the international thing with Tanaka coming back a bit later. Does he start? I don't think he does. And then, of course, you got your front 3. Now, what do I think Fark will go with? I think Fark will go with, if fit, Okafor on the left, Aronson on the right, and then DCL up top. I know I said about the international break, but I think Aronson's fine. I think Aronson's one of those players. Like, I don't think he didn't play that much anyway. He didn't play like full 90 minutes. He played against Australia when he came on. I think he played like 30 minutes. So he didn't play a full match. You know, like BL played 2 full matches. You know what I mean? And I think Aronson is that type of player that could come back an hour before kickoff, get on that pitch and run around and do his job well, because he's one of those players. But yeah, I do think he'll keep Aronson in there because, I mean, we've got no other option as well. That's the other thing. We've got no other option if Okafor, especially if Okafor's injured, we've got no other option. And yeah, so if Okafor's out, it'll be Harrison on the left, I think. I think it'll be Harrison on the left, Aronson on the right, and then up top, of course, DCL. I would like to see Metcha, but I just don't think Farke's going to go with it. I think Farke's going to keep it with DCL, even though I would want Metcha. Now, if we look at Burnley's fixtures, like Burnley did have a difficult start. They played Man United, which they were unlucky not to get a point, giving away a penalty in like the last minute. They lost 1-0 to Liverpool while having a red card in that game where they considered right at the end. They drew 1-1 with Forest. They lost to Cardiff in the Cup, that doesn't matter. They lost to Man City 5-1, but everyone's going to lose to Man City. And they lost to Aston Villa 2-1, giving Aston Villa their first goals of the season. But yeah, they've had a pretty difficult start. Like, if you look at that from last season, I know Man United, but everyone knew they were going to have a better season than last season. But you look at Liverpool, who everyone thinks are going to be champions. Nottingham Forest, who finished in Europe last season. Manchester City, who people, you know, they're going to be in a title race. And then Aston Villa, who, you know, people expected to be up there challenging for trying to get back in the top four and back in the Champions League. So they've had a very difficult start as well. Burnley, I think they've got a couple of games now where they have to win. They have like must wins coming up, in a way of like they're versing the teams that they need to get points against, basically, even if it's just a draw. But yeah, going into this game, I am confident. I have to be confident. Turf Moor's not an easy place to go. You know, it's not going to be easy at Turf Moor. We've got to all admit that. Like, it's not going to be an easy place. It's not an easy place to go. But I do think we're going to win this game. I'm going to predict 2-0 Leeds United, with goals coming from DCL. Please get another goal, because I'm starting to get frustrated and I'm starting to say, just start Metcha. Just start Metcha. Just start Metcha. Give him a chance. DCL's you're not finishing your chances. Give Metcha a go, you know? But yeah, I'm going to say DCL gets a goal, please. And I'm going to say Longstaff. I'm going to say Longstaff gets another goal. An absolute another screamer, just like against Bournemouth. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know your score predictions. And yeah, and I'll catch you all in the next one, which will be the watch along. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.